So this is a clip on age gap. Yeah, age gap dating. This is the thing, right? I do want to talk more about the age gap thing because I think it's hilarious. Because it's such a is one of the most uh, hypocrisies of women. Okay, so I always wanted to talk about more of that. I'll probably say a good amount of stuff here, but I definitely will say a bunch of things in future videos. So please check it out.
So you only have to get love right the one time, but I think that if you have certain foundational things, it makes it easier, like letting the guy know your intention up front. Hey, I'm not just gonna hang out with you. I want marriage. So if you're not dating for marriage, don't even start with me.
Well, for me, I'm 18, so it's a little weird if I'm just like, I'm looking for marriage, you know?
Right. But is that weird though?
I mean, yeah.
It's
Definitely.
weird. It's
Definitely.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird today.
Okay,
It's
that's
weird
true.
today, but today is weird though.
Yeah.
But I think there's also, like, I know older women who have gotten with, been with their husbands since they were, 18 years old.
Yeah.
And
I wish I could experience that.
And they deeply regret it.
Really?
Yes. I will say I do believe, like, I do want to live a traditional life. I would like to have a husband, have kids, but I will say I think at 18 years old, who are you at 18 years old?
Yeah, I'm still figuring
I
myself
feel
out.
like
I'm
you're
still in college.
exactly.
All that,
Your brain isn't even developed. Like,
A lot of things that, at least from the stories I've heard, right? A lot of things that women who said like, "Oh, I only been with one man for years, for most of life," right? I deeply regret it. And I've heard stories where those same women divorce, right? They, divorce their husband and all this stuff. Their life is really no better. This is the thing with a lot of women where this is the issue where I think women suffer from this the most out of the both genders, right? They are easily persuaded. Okay, like let's say all around them are like single women saying all this other stuff, right? Or the boss bee, right, having focused on her career and stuff. Oh, she might, wow, look at that woman's accomplishing such amazing career stuff. Or that they suffer from this too, where the grass is greener effect, where the women think, oh wow, I can't complain about my husband, but you know what, maybe I could get better. Maybe I could find a man that makes more, that's better looking, that is better in the sack, all this stuff, right? I think women are the ones who suffer from that the most, right? The grass is greener effect. Also, damn it, it was in my mind for a second. There's another thing that I think synonymously, I think out of both genders, women suffer from this more too. What is it? Boredom and wanting the spark. Okay, women. I honestly believe women get bored quicker than men. Okay, but this is the thing where because of that boredom, okay, they want drama. They want the butterflies, the things that they want, emotional highs. Okay, it's not just like the flatline consistent emotion, right? They want the emotional highs, right? The high of meeting someone new, going on the first date, having your first kiss, first time having sex with a person, all these, the emotional high, the butterflies, like us sneaking around, us talking, us, all this stuff, right? Women crave that. And I think, a lot of women are saying, oh, I regret, being with one man the rest of my life. But yet your life after leaving that man didn't get better. Most of the time, in my opinion, got worse. But, it is what it is.
like, who am I can't imagine, you know, like even I don't know, you know, being with anyone who I was with when I was 18.
I mean, I don't think age will determine if you can like feel love or not, you know, because if you feel love, it's a feeling. That connection's gonna be there, you know. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or
I think it's a little
28.
delusional though when you're a little bit more delusional when you're 18 than when you're
Okay, maybe I'm a
older.
little
I think
delusional.
that-
No,
I'm
I don't
saying-
know because I'm not older, you
Yeah.
know. And if I say like I feel in love with someone, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna stand by it.
What if we're all becoming more and more crazy and immature? And I mean clinically immature. What I mean by that is 18 is when you're an adult. So in our strange society we're erecting, we're saying like, oh, you're still a kid, you're so young. But are you? And the reason I say but are you is this. Number one, at age 18, you can go off to war and lose your life. So you can make a decision that would cause you to die.
That's
And-
not right either though. Like,
And by law, you are an adult. And when you look at your grandparents, when were they having their first kids? Around the age of 18.
Yeah.
So we're becoming clinically immature, and it's like we're going backward. Because the truth is, anyone start their menstruation in middle school? Yeah, start menstruation in middle school, right?
Like, wait, I had to think
Yeah.
about
That's a
this.
weird
And-
question. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, not to be
girls,
awkward, but what does menstruation indicate?
That you're ready to have a child.
That you could be a mother, right? In middle school. So now you're 18, you're quite far from middle school. So the question is, are we staying in line with what is natural and what is like right for us as human, the human animal? And as we build more technology and we get farther away from that which is natural, things start to go a little bit weird. I mean,
So do you think girls should start having kids when they're 14?
no, but closer to
I mean,
18.
like, you're saying if that's what's natural. Hey, if this is, you know.
That's when it starts. But when things
So
start,
would you
it's
want to
not.
have a kid at 18?
No, that's the girl has, that's it for the female. For the male, it's different, right? Because she mentioned following her man's lead, right? Imagine you're an 18-year-old girl following the lead of an 18-year-old boy. You're about to be led to destruction.
Okay,
Well,
but,
exactly
but that
what
doesn't
I
make sense. That doesn't make sense.
That does make
Like what,
perfect
you want
sense,
like a
because-
28-year-old with an 18-year-old
Be-
having kids?
Because also in your grandparents' era, the women would always date a man who's older. And the reason for that is he has all the things you mentioned: security, stability, finances, leadership, experience. So it makes perfect sense that you would date a guy who's older, but if you're clinically immature, then it feels weird to date a guy that's older.
But do you think in some of those situations, I do agree. I do think some men, like, hey, you know, they should lead, and some men, maybe their intentions are good, but I think an 18-year-old and a 28-year-old, I mean, what do you really have in common? Besides, I think a lot of 28-year-old men,
I think that's the argument, right? The argument of, oh, because they're different ages, they don't have anything in common. There are women that are your same age that you wouldn't have a single thing in common. It's like it's so funny, right? If just having something in common with someone means that, okay, oh wow, she's gonna be with me. That don't mean like that, right? That don't work like that. Okay, there are plenty of women your own age that have practically zero things in common with you. There are plenty of women that are younger than you or even older than you, whatever, right? It don't matter about the age to have something in common with someone. I mean, like, it's like, oh, you look at this. The things that you think you have a common with someone. Hiking. Oh, is that age specific? Not really. Watching a show. Is that really age specific too? Not really. Political views, especially nowadays, a lot of college students are very political. So really, is that? No. It's like there are so many things that are really not age specific. Having things in common, like what? I mean, unless you're saying maturity, well, okay. But that's not necessarily age specific as well. There are some 18-year-olds more mature than other 18-year-olds. There are some, let's say, 28-year-olds less mature than other 28-year-olds. So this is the thing where that's a fallacy. To think that, okay, because someone is not of your age, they have nothing in common with you. That's ridiculous. It's not about age that will determine the things that they have in common, because, like, hobbies are for any age. Like, a person that knits, right? Okay, you think only 28-year-olds knit? It's like the ridiculousness of women sometimes is absolutely insane. right? Because it's like things in common. Why does it matter what age you are to have hobbies, to have beliefs, to have a train of thought?
Will probably see her as like, hey, she's young, she's impressionable.
Sure.
I may just want to manipulate this girl.
No, yeah, the
Like, do you-
oldest guy I ever talked to, he was 24. He had a 3 or a 4-year-old. And like he treated me amazing, but was he a good guy to me at the end of the day? No, because I'm 18, I'm fresh blood, you know, he knows that I haven't really had experience like that.
So you're saying he had bad intentions with you?
Well, I don't really know what his intentions were to this day because he wasn't good at communicating and things like that. But was he an older man? Did he have a stable career? Did he have a stable life? Yes, you know?
I was 24. And poor communication. Well, you're 24. No duh. 24 with a child. I mean, I'm pretty sure he had terrible communication skills. I mean, it's like, she make it seem like, it's just like, no duh. He's like, I mean, she didn't make it seem like like he said, he didn't have bad intentions with her. He was just 24. So terrible at communicating.
So why were you with him in the first place? Well,
Well, because I thought he was hot on the beach.
you said what?
I thought he was hot on the beach.
You thought it was hot on the beach. Okay, well, there you go.
Well,
Would you be okay with your 27 with your 17-year-old 17-year-old daughter being with a 27-year-old man?
If he intended to marry her and stick with her.
So when
and
she was in
provide-
high school. So still in high school.
100%.
You would be
And
okay?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. My goal for my children is for them to have strong families, to amass great wealth, and do good in the world. That's my goal for myself. That's my goal for my lineage. So if a man comes to me and he's honorable, responsible, reliable, and my daughter is interested in him, like step one, is she interested in him? If she's not interested, it's done. But if she's interested in him and she asks him to present himself to me as a father, and I don't have any kids, then yeah, you're 27, she's 17, and I don't want my daughter sleeping around. I don't want my daughter doing a bunch of things that's going to tear out her heart with bad experience. So if he's sincere and we're within the same culture, then absolutely.
I like what he just said, right? That part. Tear out her heart with experiences. I honestly do not understand women. I mean, I do, but how I don't understand it is that this delusion, right? Do you want to have a long string of broken hearts? Women would say no. Okay. So, let's say this. Do you want your first boyfriend to be your last? I'm assuming that they would say yes. I don't know. Maybe some of them would say no. It's just that this is a thing where you would want, okay, a good man. Okay, a good man, and you will want a good man to be with. I don't know how about women nowadays. This is what I'm thinking, right? This is what I'm hoping, right? You will want a good man to be with for the rest of your life. So you don't have to experience all the shitty men. The men that cheat on you, the men that abuse you, the men that manipulate you or gaslight you or whatever, right? The men that treat you bad. You don't want that. So you, staying in the dating market, have a higher percentage chance of experiencing those men. Okay? Because technically those men have good success rate of getting women. So, like a true man, right? A true man that would want to be a good father. You don't want that to happen to your daughter. So, her finding... Because think about this, right? Like I said, right? Would you want one man for the rest of your life? Technically, women would. But one man, let's say she's 17, he's 17. The likelihood of that, right? That 17-year-old man or boy or whatever being the right fit for you later on in life might not be that high, because there's no telling if he will succeed in life or if he's developed enough, right? Mentally, physically, whatever, right? Where he can provide your child, your daughter, a good life. There's no telling that. It's actually might not be a high percent chance. So again, I mean, like, I definitely agree that if, right, the older man has stability, have morals, all this stuff, yeah, I would say the same thing. because you don't. What good father wants their child to go through all these heartbreaks, all these? Because this is the thing. These things, these traumas, is going to create the type of woman that is jaded, that is cynical, that makes even worse decisions in life, because obviously that there's a pattern there, and it's going to make her life harder.
Like, for example, in her case, like if I'm a Christian man, he's a Christian man, my daughter's a Christian woman, and he comes in sincerity and he's going to provide her all the things that she wants, why would I deny that from her?
What if she's 14? Is there like an
That's
age?
crazy. I mean,
is there an age? I mean, she could be a freshman. She
needs to be an adult. She needs to be an 18-year-old adult.
I don't think 17 is,
No.
being an adult.
Yeah,
and just
so she needs to be an 18-year-old
and just
adult.
another year, like, just what she was saying, like, we're girls. Like,
Yeah, I don't feel that
we're just,
different than I did
We're
when I was
brain dead.
17.
We don't know what's going on. Like, we're easy to manipulate.
Dated older men. When I was 18, my boyfriend was 36. He was a server. He didn't make a lot of money. I was a hostess. Bless my heart. And then when I
See, this is the thing, right? That's the thing. Why would you want? See, again, you chose a man that was terrible. That couldn't even. A server at 30, obviously he could barely provide for himself. That's the thing. The difference between if he was the father, helping choosing a man. I would say don't. Why would you choose this man? He's a server at 30. What kind of future, what kind of life is he going to provide for my 18-year-old daughter? Not much of anything. So really, I would have said no. I don't care how old he is that obviously a server, what are you doing with your life? Where's the trajectory of your life?
I was 20, my boyfriend was also 36, a different one. And there is differences in these older men that choose to date younger. Because I would say the first one, it was just because I had no idea what was going on and it was easy. Yeah. But the second one did make me feel really safe, and we did have a really good relationship, and he took care of me. And so I would say that there's differences. Sometimes it's okay, but like 18's a little young.
Donated $200. My wife is 11 years younger than me. We celebrated our 18th anniversary last Friday. Age gap relationships are not in and of themselves bad, and equating them with abuse etc. is wrong. Please be better.
When did you guys meet? How old was she and how old were you
when
you guys got together? I'm not saying that the age gap.
Somebody say it was abuse?
No. I just said it could be manipulative. Yeah. And I'm not saying every man.
What do you mean it could be?
It could be manipulative. I do think that there are some men, hey, when she's 20.
This is the thing, it's stupid. Do you think 30-year-old women don't get manipulated? Do you think 40-year-old women don't get manipulated by men? It's like women make it seem like, oh, only 18-year-olds get manipulated by men. Only 20-year-olds, only 21-year-olds get manipulated by men. No. Women at any age can and have been manipulated by men. Whoop-de-doo. It don't matter about your age. I mean, it's like, seriously, you make it seem like, oh wow, only an 18-year-old is stupid enough to get manipulated by a man. Only an 18-year-old is weak enough, right, foolish enough to get manipulated by a man. No, woman. I mean, it's like, at any age, a woman can be and have been manipulated by men. So that's what I said. It's these are the delusions and the hypocrisies women are living in.
And he's 30, like this could be a genuine connection, someone that, really wants to be with her.
Couldn't the reverse just as easily be manipulative, that she's purely dating him for money?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be the case. I'm not going to argue with you on that. But I think most of the time, just thinking back on myself, when I was 18, that wasn't even something I thought about, like trying to be with someone with, you know, because they had money. I loved him and I wanted to be with him and I thought he cared about me so much. And
It's all about how you feel about someone. Like, you shouldn't be going after someone because they're older or something like
No,
that. Because
that'd
they
be
have
weird.
money. It's
That'd be
all
super
about the
strange.
love. Like, I'm such a
Yeah.
firm believer in love and all that lust. Like, I
Could
think
it-
that's the most important thing.
could it be a strange thing if a man is if there's a 28-year-old who is continuously
28-year-old
dating?
male?
Yeah, male.
Uh-huh.
That is continuously dating 17, 18-year-olds.
Well, 17's illegal, so he for sure shouldn't be doing
well,
that.
in some states,
Yeah.
it's okay, right?
We'll just, for the sake of conversation,
we'll
go
just,
at 18.
we'll just say 18.
Yeah.
If he's continuously dating these 18-year-old girls, would you think this
I
may
would
be a
think
little
that
off?
I would think that he has a preference for young women.
But you wouldn't think there's anything like
I would just think
There
he
was
has a
an issue?
preference for young women. If it were me, I would go for the best woman,
Mm-hmm.
which is for sure not consistently going to be a 18-year-old woman.
So you
That's
agree
highly
with her?
unlikely. No, I don't think it's weird. I just think that's his preference, right? Like that's what he wants to do. Just like, for example,
This is the thing, right? If he's going after or in front of any woman he talks to and say, "Can I see your ID?" and if she's not 18, he walks away from her. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. Now, if he's like looking at women and like saying that, "Wow, she's attractive," and it just so happens she's 18, okay, he probably finds that youthful image attractive. Okay, there's degrees to it. If he finds a woman that looks right, I see her, she's attractive. I see her, she's attractive. Okay, wow, that's. I want to go for that. I think she's attractive. Whoop, she's 18. Okay, just so happen these couple girls are 18. Okay, well, I mean, he's attracted to them. Unless he's like, oh, I'm parked near high school, and there's difference to it, right? Yes, that is weird. Why would you do that? Now, if he's at a bar or I don't know, in a mall, whatever, and he sees girls that are, you know, he finds attractive, but just so happen they're all just 18s. Okay, yeah.
you'll meet some guys who say, "Hey, I only like Asian women," or some guys who say, "I only like black women." Now, me, I love all women, but if that's what they like, that's what they like. That doesn't make it wrong or evil.
Do you think some situations could be manipulative? That is why some
I
men
think-
target younger women?
Undoubtedly, in human relations, there's always manipulation. And the only question is, like, is there good intention? Is that what's reigning over is good intention? And we're all trying to avoid being manipulated. We know that you and I we know we've already argued, so this is hypothetical. But if you and I are the same age and we're in a relationship, there'll be times you try to manipulate me and I try to manipulate you, right? That's just, right? That's life,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So that's just a normal thing in human relations. The greater thing is, what is the overall intention?
But I do think there's a difference if we're the same age, maybe, you know, the same life experience, or similar, you know, like we've gone through similar things, as opposed to me being 28, and if I got with a 28-year-old boy, I think I could probably, you know, take advantage. And I'm saying as a woman as well. I think dating a man significantly younger, like, we're like, what do we have in common besides the fact that I think I could probably take advantage of him?
I think if women have not been raised in a culture and conditioned and if it's not in their heart to be with a man forever, there are a lot of things that are probably smaller that become really important to them. One, they want like a perfect package, 6 foot plus, six pack, 6 figures. They want all this stuff. Probably a guy they'll never find. But the fact is this: when women are raised in that situation where they're not conditioned around family life and securing a man for marriage, this idea of encountering a guy who's a tyrant or a villain who's going to abuse them, they do need to be worried about that, because they're going to have more dating, more sex, more opportunities for risk. So they do need to be attuned for that. But for example, there's one woman I know, she was raised a Mennonite, like among the Amish. And
That's the thing, right? I always said, right? Women don't understand that. It's more about this. These are situations that women don't understand, that you worry about all these things. But the problem is that when you are left in the dating market, the likelihood of these things happening gets higher and higher. And this is why we go back to what I said before with like, you know what? You would want that one man that will treat you right. Problem is that women are all, and I think this is the psyche of modern day women now, right? They gave up on that, right? They don't care about that. They don't even want that, right? They'd rather be in the dating market for longer now. And this is the problem we're seeing, right? The destruction of the dating market, where now they are more tainted, more jaded, more trauma filled. You know, it gets, you know, it's and this is general women. These women are, you know, some of them are really good looking. So, but I mean, in general, this is an ideology for a lot of women across the board. You know, even women that don't look like these women. So, you know, the more you just stay in the dating market, it's honestly the worse it gets, especially for women, in my opinion. For the likelihood of you getting the man that you want, it gets worse. And if you see my other videos, right, especially on my main channel, I do Kendra G reactions. And it's just like you see these 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds, even 70-year-olds and so on, still in the dating market, still looking for a man. Some even still looking for marriage. It's, you know, this ideology that a lot of women have now, it's failing them. This woman thinking, oh, man is going to manipulate me because he's older than me. Okay, fine. Stay, you know, have that ideology. But things like that will affect you in the long term, because again, you're wary, you have these preconceptions. Well, you know, it's definitely not gonna, you know, bode well for you. So I just think it's ridiculous, you know, and it honestly will just make things worse for you. Let's let's do one